everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of Heavy Metal. I don't know. I was trying to
Let's try it again. Full.
Oh, Full Metal. All right. Yeah. All right. Got it. All right.
Here, I'll start. Give us your best metal.
Okay.
Full
Metal.
bracket.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's try it again. We'll both jump in on bracket, shall we?
Sounds good.
Take two. Full
Metal. Bracket.
It doesn't work as well. If we were in the same room, we could give each other a cue. But the lag with streaming, it doesn't quite work.
Preview. I think Dorina had an issue with the lagging as well. A little preview for a recent episode of Settle the Score. So yeah, clearly a lagging is possibly an issue on timing sometimes.
You say that, but the early receipts are everybody agrees with the I'm going to stand behind the show and say the show's assessment.
Yes, I agree.
You beat her. You came in just under the wire on the first one, and the second one was like it was a half second difference. It was more than a beat, but anyway, neither here nor there.
I won a few things, but not the final thing. So credit to Dorina. But we are here with I guess one of the first official episodes of Full Metal Bracket, which is this thing that we're doing as an addition to Atopic Thunder or an adjustment to Topic Thunder. And I should give credit. I guess I've forgotten to give credit to the person. Do you remember who? I mean, one of the people who listens to us reached out and they sent me a message asking for credit for it. I can't remember where I put that.
The first one was?
Yeah, because there was a few people, right, who suggested have a Full Metal Bracket.
Oh, yeah, no, we announced it on the show. You texted it to me, and then I said it. I think it was on the last one we did 2 weeks ago.
So we did credit that person. Okay, good. Okay.
The one you sent to me is when you said, hey, I like this name. But
yes.
I think more than one person managed to hit upon that.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because quite a few people, or a couple of people reached out like, well, when do I get credit for it? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, we gave credit, but maybe I'd missed it. So I'm just, calmly looking through my messages. But
I know we gave credit to someone on air the last time we did it, or 2 times ago when we did it, but we've done it. I want to say his last name was like MADD something or other. Maddie, Madril, Swimmy.
Anyway, whatever. We gave credit, and feel free to reach out if you feel you haven't gotten proper credit. But yeah, so we're excited to jump into yet another bracket here today. I think Matt's going to introduce this one, so let's get into it.
All right, this comes to us from Josh Sachs. And he says, "Good day, guys. So as not to waste the work that went into my first bracket, here is the bottom of the barrel for you guys to reclaim one. Or if you prefer to, you can proclaim the worst of the worst.
Ooh.
Rankings are based on the worst aggregate scores. Parenthetically, Steel is the worst rated movie and is number 1.
Wow.
Expect some more to come your way in the next few weeks. Regards, Josh Sachs." So it's Marvel versus DC, and he's calling it Reclaim One. And he has ordered it. So when he originally sent in, if memory serves, he did Marvel versus DC, and he did the aggregate score from IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, and Metacritic.
Yeah.
And then that's how, and he paired off against.
Okay.
So who climbs out of this barrel of shit is what he's saying to potentially make it back onto.
So we got to say the best of the worst is basically what this is, right?
I mean, I would say it's still who do you take in this matchup?
Oh, okay. As which is the better of the films?
Yeah,
we're still doing that at least.
That's what it appears to me as we're trying to reclaim one. So which one shouldn't be as poorly rated as it currently is across those 3 websites? And this isn't Josh's opinion. This is the aggregate of everybody who's voted.
Okay.
And whether or not you agree with them, we shall find out. So I'll start us off and do the left side of the bracket. Okay. And then we'll take a break, and then John will take over and do the right side of the bracket. I already
Yeah.
see an early contender on the right side of the bracket to win this whole fucking thing.
Stop cheating. Stop cheating.
It's not cheating. It's just
Stop
I'm looking at the bracket and I just glanced over and it's the top matchup and be like, well,
There it
that's
was. Florida Gulf Coast. There it was.
yeah, Florida God, they're hitting their threes and making dunks, man. Three and key, they're getting it.
Come on now.
All
All right.
So it's Marvel versus DC, the left side of the bracket. I guess I'll give the matchup and then maybe we'll make our choice and just
Yeah, sure. We can do it that way. Sounds good. And play along for everybody who's listening to us or watching us. Play along as well.
Okay. In the top matchup, it's got 1 versus 8, but it should be, I'm guessing, 1 versus 16.
Yeah, I think maybe Josh needs to understand a little bit more of the setup here with a 32-team single elimination or a 64-team, depending on what you're doing. But on one side of the bracket, it's always 1 through 16. And on the other side, the same thing. So in the future, it's 1 versus 16, 2 versus 15, 3 versus 14, and so on and so on. So just a little clarification. But I guess he broke it up into separate sections, 1 through 8 in 4 separate sections. So
yeah, right. 4 separate sections. But whatever.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We get the basic gist.
I would love to know how he broke up the sections, though. That would be interesting to find out how he broke up the sections. But yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if it was. Anyway,
yeah,
we could speculate all day.
Sure.
But the first matchup, what is a 1 versus 16, because he already mentioned in the email that Steel is the #1 overall worst rated movie of all of these. You have Steel versus X-Men Apocalypse.
Oof.
This is a turd fest.
I know. I'd have to go X-Men Apocalypse just because there's better actors and better filmmaking, at least attempted, over Steel. And I've only ever seen a 4x3 version of Steel, which is horrific on so many levels.
Well, there's a Criterion coming out next week.
Shit, bullshit.
Dude.
Criterion with a Y.
The 8K on that thing is gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
You so should do yourself. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. As much as I think X-Men Apocalypse is terrible, Steel is, I mean, god awful.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So in this one, the higher seed is Superman 3 versus Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I would take it's Superman 3. Yeah, I would take Suicide Squad. I mean, as much as I enjoy Christopher Reeve as Superman, it's so lame to go back and watch Superman 3. The stuff with Richard Pryor in that full-on let me play the idiot black man thing that he was doing on the tail end of his career. It's not really my jam. Robert Vaughn doesn't scare me at all. But Suicide Squad, at least you've got Margot Robbie kicking ass as Harley Quinn. You've got Will Smith doing great work. You've got Ben Affleck showing up as Batman. Does it all work? Oh, and Viola Davis. Does it all work? No, but at least more of it is watchable than Superman 3. So I'll say Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad I did not enjoy in the slightest, but Superman 3 is just brutal to watch in today's day and age.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with you. Suicide Squad, once again, makes it in. So now the higher rating, the higher seeded is Supergirl versus X-Men Origins. I'm assuming this is Wolverine.
Shit. That is tough because, I mean, there's a lot of love for Supergirl among certain superhero fandoms.
Yeah, they can have that love. That movie is not good.
Yeah, I know it's not. All right, I guess I'll go X-Men. I mean, I think X-Men Origins Wolverine is just a crap fest, but you've got Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, so that's enough to carry you through. And I think the romance kind of works. Doesn't fully work, but it kind of works enough for you to understand why he'd be so motivated to fight in that situation. And yeah, do they piss away Ryan Reynolds and his Will.i.am ridiculous being in this movie? Yes, but in the end, it's a better film than Supergirl.
Yeah, I couldn't. I would. Basically, the choice comes down to this. All right, you got to watch one of the two of these. Fine, I will watch X-Men Origins
Yeah,
Wolverine.
yeah,
Given the choice, I've seen them both. Wouldn't
yeah.
enjoy the situation in either, but the less painful for me is going to be X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, I'm dreading more the later round matchups, dude. I really am dreading this.
Yeah, there's like I'm already looking at the top of the bracket going, I don't know. They're both awful.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why does one of these need to win?
Oof, this is gonna be rough.
Yeah, thank you for this, Josh. This is
Yeah,
actually fun in how painful it is.
yeah.
All right, the next one, the higher seed is Elektra, and it's going on against Batman Forever.
Mm. So you're
This
saying
one's
Elektra got better ratings than Batman?
no,
Right?
worse.
Oh,
So it has a higher
oh,
seeding
gotcha,
because it
gotcha,
had a
gotcha. It's
worse
in
rating.
reverse. Okay, then yeah, I would take Batman Forever. I would.
Yeah.
It's a cheeseball fest. It doesn't really hold up, but I did like Kilmer's Batman. Jim Carrey is fantastic.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones is good. Nicole Kidman is sexy as hell in that movie. So although it may not be the best Batman movie, I would definitely watch that over Elektra because Elektra was just a colossal mistake to waste Jennifer Gardner as this character. Because in a better director with a better writer, this could have been a great franchise for her for like 3 or 4 films.
I think if it never existed and they do it now, there's a good chance it becomes an interesting series.
Yeah.
Whereas at the time, it was still kind of a new novelty idea to have superhero films, to have these larger budgets and this big release to cast this big a star.
Yeah.
I take Batman Forever in the easiest walk so far amongst Elektra's. I mean, terrible. Batman Forever's got some kitsch fun value to it.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, it's before Schumacher really went off the rails in the next one.
Yeah.
Which we are getting to right now.
Shit.
We have Batman and Robin versus, which is the higher seed, aka the worst movie.
Yeah.
Versus Eternals.
Yeah, I would take Eternals over Batman and Robin. I still have never finished it, never will finish it. But Eternals, at least, you've got some really good actors and some interesting philosophical, how can I say this? Interesting philosophical discussions or questions in terms of gods and creation and all of that. So it may not be great, but it's watchable. And so I would take Eternals. Plus, the filmmaking from Chloe Zhao is just absolutely stellar. The cinematography and stuff.
Well, here's our first departure. I'm taking Batman and Robin.
Wow. Okay.
I think Eternals is mind-numbingly dull. It is. They easily could have cut 50 minutes off that thing. And now we have
disagree with you. It's dull.
And now we have a problem in nobody's addressing the massive alien life form that apparently exists in the Pacific Ocean in every Marvel movie thereafter.
Yeah, stuck in the middle of the earth.
Yeah, we're just not wherever that is, but it's some massive body of water. I'm assuming it's in the Pacific. Can't remember, to be perfectly honest. And that's just now a big fat problem.
Pay no attention to the thing in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, we're just going to gloss over that.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. The higher seed is Green Lantern versus 2004's The Punisher.
Yeah, I'm going to take Green Lantern.
So am I.
I think I love the Punisher character so much. So when you fuck it up, I just put even more strikes against you. And that Thomas Jane Punisher. And I know people like JT and other people like defend that movie. It is crap. And Green Lantern's not great, but Martin Campbell's a damn good director. And I liked the chemistry between Reynolds and Blake Lively.
Sure.
And the training sequences with Mark Strong as Sinestro, with Jeffrey Rush voicing, I can't remember who he voices, and then I think it's Ving Rhames or Michael Clark Duncan who does Kilowog. Great. So there's enough scenes that I can at least enjoy before we get the stupidity of Sarsgaard and the brain and Tim Robbins and all that nonsense. So I would take Green Lantern over Punisher.
Yeah, take Green Lantern as well. I actually don't hate that movie.
Okay.
I don't think it's great or anything, but
right.
It's entertaining. It's that sets out to do a job and it achieves some of it.
Yeah.
But, I think it's mostly just because I didn't see it in the theater and everybody was lambasting it and saying it was the worst thing in the history of comic book movies. And then I saw it and I was like, it was nowhere near that bad. Not even close.
Yeah.
Had I seen it Would everybody else saw it? Maybe I have the same opinion.
Maybe.
All right, your next matchup, the higher seed is Punisher Warzone versus New Mutants.
Oof. Oof.
I haven't seen New Mutants.
Okay.
Just because I don't know, horror comic book movie. That's not really my subgenre.
Well, it was a lame duck movie because they weren't going to go anywhere with it right after they sold Fox to Disney. So I don't blame you. There was no point in watching it if it's not going to go anywhere. But I would take New Mutants over Punisher Warzone because as much as I love Ray Stevenson from Rome, and he never really found that same kind of success after Rome. Warzone is just for somebody else. Like it's for because I love like shoot 'em up action films and like turn your brain off, insane, gory, bloody action films. But I just think it was an utter mess, a convoluted mess. Whereas New Mutants is a mess too, but I've got way better actors across the board that I'm watching, and it's interesting what they were trying to do. They didn't accomplish it, but I thought it was interesting what they were trying to do. So.
Fair enough. I'm just gonna take Warzone because I haven't seen the other. So.
Okay.
And finally, Fantastic Four from 2015 versus Daredevil.
It's not even a question. Daredevil. No.
Fantastic Four, as bad as that all the stories were from on set.
Yeah.
You can see it on screen. Nobody looks like they're having an iota of fun making a comic book movie. And it really translates on the screen. It's like, why am I watching this? You all look like you're fucking having the worst time of your life.
Yeah, the first 30, 35, 40 minutes, you're like, okay, what are people complaining about? And then it just absolutely nosedives. And so as much as I want to give it credit for having a diverse cast and exploring that idea of them being together for a long time and whatever. And I didn't mind Jamie Bell as the Thing, but once the whole Doctor Doom it's just horrific. And so with Daredevil, I right off the bat, I know the level of movie I'm going to get. It doesn't rise above it. It doesn't go below it. It consistently stays that level. So I can somewhat enjoy that. And I like Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner in the movie. Colin Farrell is hamming the fucking shit out of that movie.
I know. I would love to see Colin Farrell's interpretation of it now.
Oh, yeah. Agreed. Oh, 1,000%. We'd be so fascinating to see back into it now.
To see him knowing what comic book movies are and just be like, give us your interpretation of this. First off, we're not going to put a target on your forehead. So stupid. So stupid.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because we already say like him as Penguin.
So good.
Fully invested in it, even though I knew it was him.
Yeah.
You still have to stare at him for quite a long time because the prosthetics were so good.
They were so good.
When
he's up against the wall and he's like, "What are you showing me, man?" Like that. You're like, I've never seen Colin Farrell do that. I've never seen him do that. It was incredible.
Oh, yeah, when he chastises them.
Yeah.
El Rata. And you guys take Spanish?
If I the only one took Spanish,
yeah. Apparently he used to, when he was going, like when they first started doing the prosthetics, he would go out for coffee and see if anybody could recognize him to determine how good the prosthetics were. And he was like, nobody knew who I was. So that's when we knew this looks pretty good.
Yeah. They were scared of him,
dude. With that, I mean, those features were very angular.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those are unsettling.
All right, so top of the bracket, X-Men Apocalypse versus Suicide Squad.
Oof.
I can't believe I have to make a choice in this.
I mean, fuck. I have to go Suicide Squad. I will because Apocalypse was such a fucking disappointment, man.
All right, I guess I'm going to take Apocalypse.
Okay.
Oh, man. I mean, the left side of this bracket is just awful. It's so bad.
Brutal, man.
The next one is Origins Wolverine versus Batman Forever. Like, I'm taking Batman Forever.
Yeah, ditto. Me too. Yeah.
Okay, now I have Batman and Robin. You have Eternals, and it's versus Green Lantern.
Yeah, I'll take Eternals over Green Lantern.
All right, I'll take Green Lantern. I mean, I already have a good idea who's going to win my side of the bracket, but
Yeah, fair enough.
it's not okay. So you have New Mutants versus Daredevil, and I have Punisher Warzone versus Daredevil.
Okay.
I'm taking Daredevil.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Daredevil as well. Again, there's a consistency to Daredevil that is just not there in New Mutants.
Yeah, well, it's the turd that smells the least.
Well, I mean, sometimes people are like, "Well, I give it credit for this for what it was trying to," and I said that, right? But some people give it credit all the way through for the swings it took. But at some point, you've got to also ding it for the fact that it swung and missed.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
great that you're swinging for the fences, but you got to make contact at some point. Otherwise, you're going down to the minors.
Exactly.
All right. So you have Suicide Squad versus Batman Forever, and I have Apocalypse versus Batman Forever.
Wow. Suicide Squad versus Batman Forever. I have to say Batman Forever.
I agree.
Yeah, even though I do like some of Suicide Squad, there's just, there's a kitsch factor to Batman Forever that I enjoy.
Yeah, it's Suicide Squad. Like the villain was trash.
Yeah.
Just trash.
Yeah, there was so much of that. That's why I like the James Gunn version much.
I mean, Kara just doing this and be like, that's not character. What is this?
Yeah, exactly.
What is this? Ooh, spooky. And then that bar scene, that killed me.
Oh, with Jay and
where they all show up and the pyro is like, I don't have a family and you guys are family now. And you're like, you've literally known them for an hour.
Yeah, I know.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
So dumb.
This fucking movie.
So they kill off Adam Beach right off the bat. And they're like, yeah, he's the least talented of the actors in this. We're just going to kill him off right off the bat. Okay.
All right. Bottom matchup is Eternals versus Daredevil for you, and it's Green Lantern versus Daredevil for me.
Yeah, I gotta take Eternals.
I don't even know. Green Lantern versus Daredevil. They like cancel each other out. They're both equally bad. How do you make a choice amongst these?
And we're going into our 5th overtime between these two teams.
Yeah.
Can't seem to make a decision.
It is tied at no points apiece. This is incredible. I guess I would watch Green Lantern before I watched Daredevil. So I'll go Green Lantern. And then finally, it's Batman Forever for both of us.
Yeah.
Versus Eternals for you and Green Lantern for me.
Yeah.
Are we in lockstep on this?
No, I'm going to take Eternals over Batman Forever. I am. No, I changed my mind. I'm taking Batman Forever. I am. Because I can't. Eternals, at some point, as I said, you've got to ding it for its inability to make contact. And it is foul tipping for 29 swings and then eventually strikes out. And that's the frustrating part of it all because it's so goddamn long. So, but with Batman Forever, again, if you catch me in the right mood, I'll actually enjoy watching that movie. And I think the acting is so good with Tommy Lee and Jim Carrey. So, yeah.
And the fact that Tommy Lee did not like Jim Carrey before they even filmed.
Yeah.
And they still had to do all these scenes together. It makes it that much sweeter. All right, so we both have Batman Forever.
Yes.
So before we get to the right side of the bracket, we'll take this quick break, hear a word from our sponsor, and be right back with the bracket. All right, there we are. John, take it away.
All right, let's take a look at the second half of the bracket here right now. We're going to start off at the top. Number 1, which means the worst of them all on this side of the bracket, Catwoman, the Halle Berry masterpiece, versus Constantine, which is getting a sequel. Now, this is funny because he made it 16 on this side.
Yeah, it's the only one where it has the proper. That's why I looked over and I was like, hey, wait a second. That should be on the left side.
Josh, I'm going to need you to do better the next time around, Josh. Pay more attention to these rankings. No offense, but pay more attention. All right, so Catwoman versus Constantine. Matt,
do we have to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean,
Constantine is making it out.
100%. 100%.
It's not even close.
Yeah, it's getting a sequel. There's a reason for that. All right, so the next up is X-Men Dark Phoenix as the higher seed versus 2005's Fantastic Four. They're directed by Tim Story with Ian Grafad as Reed and Jessica Alba in there.
Yeah,
And Michael
young Chris
Chiklis.
Evans.
And Michael Chiklis.
Michael
Yes,
Chiklis, he was a good thing. That's a
Yeah.
good, if you got a who looks like Grimm.
Yeah.
Chiklis kind of has that vibe. I thought that was a
Imagine,
good casting.
think about that, man. Imagine putting hours of makeup on your body to make a shit movie, man. I mean, it just must be like, fuck, I endured all that shit for this thing to get ridiculed and lose all this money, man. I don't know.
They made a sequel.
Right. Will you come back?
How many movie roles was Chiklis getting offered? He said
it's a
yes.
fair point. It's a fair point, man. He's an odd career. Such an odd career, Chiklis.
Yeah. Well, considering he was supposed to be blackballed from his first major role that everybody knew about.
With the Belushi film, yeah.
Yeah. You're like, oh, how dare you? You're like, it's a fucking movie.
It's a job,
it's a
man.
TV movie at that.
Yeah.
How is this going to destroy his career? But yeah, between Dark Phoenix and Fantastic, I'll take Fantastic Four.
Wow. Okay.
Dark Phoenix is god awful.
It's terrible, but I'll take Dark Phoenix just because Fantastic Four is so horrific and no one can act in that movie. No one.
I feel like you're just attacking Jessica.
Isn't that obvious?
Well, considering the others have been in stuff where you're like, oh, that was good. I enjoyed that. I can't think of a single thing that she's done where I'm like, who was good in that?
I just love how we have to swallow these bullshit narratives that these people who couldn't get cast anymore because no one was going to see their films get to twist things with a PR person to say they retired from acting. You didn't retire. You weren't good. And you barely
started getting bullshit offers and you're like, I'm not doing that.
You started getting offers that merited your talent. And you were limited by what you could do. You're a very attractive woman, so you were probably getting some, kind of scantily clad roles or skin flicks or whatever, those kind of like erotic thrillers. And that was all they saw you as because you are a limited actress, and so that happens to everybody, So.
Yeah, I mean, some performers do overcome it because we all go, God, that person is so likable. I really like watching that individual.
Right.
And I'm not saying we didn't feel that you were likable, but you got to be fucking charming as shit if you're not a good at your job.
Yeah, it's true. All right, what's the next one? It's me. Shit, sorry. So Ghost Rider. I'm taking X-Men Dark Phoenix. So Ghost Rider as the higher one, the Nicolas Cage. Ghost Rider 2.
Yeah.
Versus 1989's The Punisher.
With Dolph.
That is was that theatrically released? Does that qualify? Wow.
I guess so.
All right, Matt, what do you got?
Oh, man. I can't believe 89's Punisher is higher rated. I mean, I will take it just because Ghost Rider 2 is god awful.
Right.
I love Nick Cage, but he is just not that character.
No, he is not Johnny
in the
Blaze.
slightest. Yeah. And then it falls off a cliff in the second one. I mean, his hairpiece is so awful.
Yeah.
So awful. And are those abs CGI'd?
I think so, dude. Which is kind of funny, right? Because this is what you're wasting the CGI budget on, is the abs.
It just pull it up, and then he's got this bad hairpiece, and I don't know, that movie's a mess.
It is.
Yeah, okay. So I'll take 89's Punisher, even though that thing is awful.
I'm taking Ghost Rider, man. At least it's Nick Cage. All right, Jonah Hex as the higher seed, number 2, so whatever it is, higher seed, versus Batman v Superman. Uh-oh. I mean, there's a way higher cliff that one falls off of. Is that enough to ding it to not let it advance, or is there enough?
I mean,
to enjoy.
This is a Sophie's choice, if there ever was one. Because when I see people defend Batman and Superman, it's like, I feel like we watched two completely different movies.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Even the director's cut wasn't. better. It just made it more frustrating.
It's, I mean, it is so, he took a great idea, great premise, a storyline that is beloved from comics in the second part of Dark Knight, and turned it into this.
Right.
I mean, I was out from the get-go when once they were like, oh, we're going to do another origin story at the top, and be like, we fucking know this story. We don't need to see Batman become Batman again.
It's true.
So I think for that, I'll take Jonah Hex, even though Jonah Hex is awful.
Wow. All right, let's go to the second half of the bracket here.
Well, who are you taking?
Oh, Batman v Superman, not even a question. At least there's some watchable stuff in that movie, even though 80 to 90% of it is perplexing in terms of the story beats and the story itself, the logic of the story itself, you know.
Okay.
Like Lex Luthor is the one who comes up with the names and the logos for all the Justice League. What the fuck?
Yeah, I thought Batman was the greatest detective in the world, and his detective skills are just to steal the information from Lex Luthor.
Yeah, exactly.
What detection skills is that? That's none, zero.
And I've seen people defend the Martha moment with some of the most eloquent, interesting, well thought out defenses, and yet none of them make sense to me. And
it doesn't sway.
Are valid. Yeah, no.
Dude, when he was like, oh, what name did you just say? Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. Really? Really?
Yeah, I remember sitting in the theater going, wait, what?
Yeah. He's about to spike him with a fucking Kryptonian spear. It's got a crystal in the end. He said, what name was that? Okay. Aren't you the greatest detective? Shouldn't you already know this information?
Yeah, like Lois found it out within like what hour and a half of Man of Steel, and you still can't. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway, we could spend a whole 3 hours on it.
Yeah, whereas Jonah, I don't have any fucking attachment to it, so I don't have judgment. My knives aren't as sharp. That's why I'm like, well, I guess I'll take Jonah.
All right, second half of the bracket here. Superman 4, the higher ranked one, versus Swamp Thing. Ooh, that host.
I mean, I know I've seen Swamp Thing, but yet I don't really remember Swamp Thing.
Yeah, fair.
So for that alone, I guess I'll take Superman 4, but I hate Superman 4.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what happens in Swamp Thing, so I can't by rights be like Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm going to take
Swamp Thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'm going Superman 4. This is going to, the winner of the next part of the bracket is going to crush.
Yeah.
Superman 4, in my opinion.
Fair enough. I got Swamp Thing on this one. I do remember Swamp Thing, and I did like it. It had a nice, as I said earlier, with Batman Forever, there's a kitsch factor with Swamp Thing that I really enjoy. And just Superman 4 is just, it's as bad as Spider-Man 3, which people are trying to defend nowadays as well. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. All right, the next section is Blade Trinity, or the next matchup is Blade Trinity is the higher seed versus the return of Swamp Thing.
Well, if I don't recall the first one, what do you think the odds are that I have a loving affection? I actually like Blade Trinity.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Look, like is in the spectrum of it's not as awful as it's made out to be. Plus, knowing all the behind the scenes, off camera stuff that's going on makes watching it even better. Just the posted notes and the stories from all the different cast about how contentious the relationships were between Wesley and everybody. So I'll take Blade Trinity.
No, okay. I'll take Blade Trinity too because it's Wesley. I love Wesley as Blade, and there's enough cool scenes of Wesley being Blade in the film that are enjoyable.
Sure.
There's enough to kill it. I mean, the whole Triple H. I mean, Parker Posey playing a villain is beyond comical, and the guy who shows up from Prison Break as Dracula, oof, that's bad. Blade, are you ready to die? I was born ready, motherfucker. You know, he's kicking ass, Wesley, but everyone else is in a completely different movie.
They are.
And to me, I hate all the fucking nerds shit. Like all of them. Patton, Natasha Lyonne, Jessica Biel, I guess it is, and Ryan.
Ryan Reynolds.
And this is Ryan Reynolds. Listen, I know everybody loves Ryan now, but Ryan around that time was, he had his own ideas and points of views on things.
He still had a pizza place.
Yeah, exactly. And that pizza place with Trailer Howard, exactly. But they were terrible. I hated them being a part of the Blade franchise. If you could do Blade, if you could edit Blade Trinity to edit all those people out of that, I think you might have a decent film. But the whole sarcasm, snarky, all of that shit just fucking ruined it, because the first two Blade films are so good.
Well, there was no hint of that in the previous, to let alone go this fully blossomed.
Yeah.
Now we're snarky.
Right.
Because Blade was giving Schwarzenegger-esque lines.
Yeah.
When he would kill somebody and be like, well, that's as cheesy as this world gets, not
right.
One-liners and one-upping people and having a great rejoinder for every little. It's like, no.
Right. Whereas with Thor, like the first two films, not how can I say this? There are a significant portion of people in the MCU fandom who don't like the first two Thor films. So you make an adjustment and make him more comedic. It worked because Hemsworth is more comedic, right? That's this natural thing. And so with Wesley, that wasn't the way he wanted to play Blade. So it made no sense to surround this serious portrayal with everybody snarking it up. It just didn't make sense. And I thought Goyer made a colossal mistake doing that. And in the end, it's why we didn't see any more Blades,
Yeah. Demand dissipated.
Yeah. All right.
What do we got next?
Next one we have is Ghost Rider as the higher movie versus Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Cage Ghost Rider, the first one.
Yeah, the first one. I think that's like a coin flip.
Ooh.
I guess.
Okay.
I guess I'll go Ghost Rider.
Okay. Oh shit, we're at 37 minutes on this. God damn, Matt.
It goes quicker after we get through the.
Okay, sounds good. I'm clearly belaboring the point here. I also will go Ghost Rider over Fantastic Four. Howard the Duck versus Justice League. That's the Joss Whedon one, not Zack Snyder's.
Yeah, I mean, I can't stand Justice League, but Howard the Duck is awful. It is just awful. I remember being excited for it when I was a kid, going to the video store.
Yeah.
And renting it and then going home and watching and be like, I don't understand. I should really like this. And I don't.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll take Justice League.
I will too. I'll take Justice League as well. All right, let's go back here to the top. Constantine versus Fantastic Four for you, right?
Correct.
So
pardon me. Fantastic Four for me, Dark Phoenix for you.
Dark Phoenix for me, yeah.
Do we need to ask?
No, it's Constantine. Yes, it's irrelevant. All right, did you have Ghost Rider 2?
No, you did, and I've got Punisher.
Okay, so Ghost Rider 2 / Punisher versus Jonah Hex / Batman v Superman. So what do you got?
I mean, in an upset, Jonah Hex for me is gonna make it forward. Although I'm a sucker for Josh Brolin. I will admit to that.
I'll take Batman v Superman. So there's our first semifinal matchup on that side. And then down in the lower half, I had Swamp Thing, you had Superman 4.
Yep.
And both of us chose Blade Trinity.
That is correct.
So I will absolutely take Blade Trinity over Swamp Thing, rather.
Yeah, me as well. Superman 4 is one of the worst, hands down.
Ghost Rider.
Yep.
And for both of us, I think. And then
yes.
In Justice League, shit, I guess I'll take Justice League. I guess.
Yeah, I don't want to feel like that. You know what I mean?
I know. But I mean,
so I'm going to do the opposite and be like, I guess I'll take Ghost Rider.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So back up to the top, it's Constantine versus Jonah Hex for you.
Yeah. This is a NBA versus Division 3 in my matchup.
Constantine. Same thing for me. Constantine over Batman v Superman. Not even a question. Not even a question.
No. I mean, do I already know who's going to win this whole thing for both of us? Yes, I do. Yes, I
do. Blade Trinity over. Did you put Ghost Rider in there?
Yeah, I took Ghost Rider, and you got Justice League.
Yeah.
I mean, man, some of these movies are lucky because they're going to make the final four. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Like Eternals and Green Lantern were on one side. Neither of you deserve to be even coming close to getting out of this pit. And now one of Ghost Rider or Justice League is going to come crawling, or Blade Trinity.
It's almost worse to make it this far and not make it because you deluded yourself. You might have a shot.
You saw the light at the end of the tunnel, and then the last second realized it was the train.
Oh shit!
Oh, just you're dead.
Yeah.
So Blade Trinity or Justice League for you, or
Blade Trinity. It's not even a question. Yeah.
Green Lantern or not Ghost Rider for me. Yeah. I guess I'll take Blade Trinity.
All right. So, what do we have on the left side?
Left side is Batman Forever is the overall winner on the left side. And now we have Constantine versus Blade Trinity.
I take Constantine. Right?
Yes. You too. Then our winner.
Constantine. Yeah. Fun. This was fun. Just to relive some of the terribleness of these movies and then maybe defend some of them in a surprising way as well. So it was a nice challenge.
Well, I mean, when he originally sent us this, we both said, where's Constantine on this?
Yeah.
So I'm unsurprised. That was when I looked over to the right, which you knew because you can see the bracket. I saw that. I was like, well, there's the winner. Like, there's nothing else on this list that comes close to as good as Constantine. It just doesn't. Batman Forever me is like, not bad.
Not too bad.
But there are some movies where I wish I could get my life back.
Oh, no shit. Dude, no fucking shit. Yeah.
But what are you going to do? You know, you can't appreciate the good if you haven't seen the bad.
It's true. Very true. All right. So, okay. Well, Josh Sachs, thanks so much for sending that in. That was a lot of fun. We appreciate it. Again, just a little warning to everybody. Make it 1 through 16 on one side, 1 through 16 on the other. That
way we just know, this ended up being the 9th highest. It just gives us a better understanding of where but it could have been one of those, he used a third party website and they changed the numbers or whatever the case is.
Could be. And try not to send us like all bad. I don't want to go back to Thunderdome. Like, make sure there is a nice balance of things we might enjoy talking about and films that would be more of a struggle to put against each other in a positive way, and the negative ones as well. So good balance of each would be great, just in the future going forward. Because I love
I don't know if I want to do like a silent movie bracket and be like, I haven't seen 32 silent movies that I can think of. How many Buster Keatons and Charlie Chaplins are on this list?
Great point.
Yeah. Otherwise, I got that. I got Metropolis. I got 1 or 2 others, and then I'm out.
Yeah, I know what's going to win just by the fact that I haven't seen.
I haven't seen about 65% of these.
That's awesome. All right. Well, there we go. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate it, Matt. Thanks for listening as well. Matt, what do we have to tell them?
You can follow the show on Twitter at Top 10 Show, all spelled out, and on Instagram and YouTube, it's / the Top 10 Podcast with the number 10. And you can follow me anywhere at Matt Nost.
You can follow me at The Roca Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And y'all take care of yourselves. Be well. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of
Full
Metal
Bracket. We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
See you guys.